Ghost photographs are plentiful, and although most ones nowadays are so hard to trust with the ease of photo editing, there are still a few new and old-fashioned ones that are pretty damn convincing. So from a creepy photograph in a Toys R Us in California that has a very interesting backstory, to a ghost at a crash site, here are 5 thought-provoking photographs that are believed to show paranormal beings. Have an open mind, sit back, and enjoy. Combermere Abbey Ghost. The Combermere Abbey Ghost photograph is pretty old. It was taken by Cybele Corbett in 1891, on the day the 2nd Viscount of Combermere was buried after being killed in a carriage accident. Cybele, who was the sister of the late Lady Combermere, the Viscount's wife, was staying at the Abbey for a brother-in-law's funeral when she decided to set up a camera with its shutter open in the library for over an hour whilst the rest of the house attended the funeral. Having such a long shutter was common practice in those times. However, when the film was developed, the transparent image of a man can clearly be seen sat in what was Lord Combermere's favourite chair. After staff and family carefully examined it, they all agreed that it bears a striking resemblance to the recently deceased Viscount. Those who were in disbelief speculated that one of the servants had sneaked in and sat in the chair, although this was dismissed by staff and the family as no one had entered the room and the figure's appearance does not match any of the workers. Due to the fact there were very few photography tricks back in those days, it's very possible the photo was either a double exposure or is a genuine, and shows the Lord's ghost sitting in his favourite chair. What do you think? The ghost of Packhorse Bridge. Now, this photograph is widely believed to have been taken on a bridge in Oak Grove, Kentucky, but after doing some research, I discovered the image was actually captured by the Cheshire Paranormal Society on the historic Packhorse Bridge in the village of Kyagaley in the UK. Now, the paranormal group had no idea what they had photographed until they got home. However, they did feel uneasy and reported a strange atmosphere whilst walking across the bridge, which is known to the locals as being haunted by 3 ghosts. A young girl and 2 women, although the locals believe the supposed ghost in this photograph is not one of these 3 ghosts, but of Squire Yonge, who lived over 300 years ago and was laid to rest in the nearby burial ground. So is this a ghost, just a mark on the camera lens, or something else that hasn't been explained yet? What's your thoughts? The ghost of Johnny Johnson. Despite being snapped in 1978, this image has a very interesting backstory that goes back to the 1800s. It was taken in a Toys R Us in Sunnyvale, California, but let's take things back way before then. The land was originally owned and farmed by the Murphy family, who hired a young mentally challenged immigrant named Johan Janssen, although his colleagues on the farm changed this to Johnny Johnson. It seems Johnny became infatuated with his boss's daughter Beth and was devastated when she married a lawyer from Boston and moved away to start a new life with him. Johnny sunk into a deep depression and also caught a viral brain infection which exacerbated his mental disability. In the summer of 1884, Johnny went out to chop some wood and accidentally chopped into his own leg, causing him to bleed to death. Many years later in the 1970s, the land was acquired by Toys R Us and they built a megastore that opened a year later. Almost immediately after opening, customers and employees of the store experienced paranormal activity. Toys would move from shelves, unusual odours and cold spots were felt, and strange noises and name-calling could be heard. A lot of this activity seemed to focus on the ladies' restroom. The reports prompted producers of the TV series That's Incredible to send in a photographer and a psychic to investigate the store. The debated and highly controversial Sylvia Brown held a pitch-black seance along with some of the store's employees, and Bill Tidwell photographed the event. During the seance, Brown stated that she was in contact with a Johnny or Joanne, and described him as having his hands in his pockets and looking down at his shoes. So when Tidwell noticed this figure in the photographs he took that night, they were all convinced it shows the ghost of Johnny Johnson. The authenticity of this photograph has not been questioned, and it's not believed to have been a hoax. Although since the room was pitch black, it could have been an employee moving around, but everyone said they were sat still. It's pretty strange and has a backstory that adds to the photo's believability. So what's your thoughts? Good Life Festival Ghost. The 2016 Good Life Festival held in Australia had a lot more attention this year than usual due to the fact this photograph was taken. It was released by organisers of the event, and at first glance you may miss the apparition of a young girl on the right hand side. The photo caused such a stir that the Good Life Festival promoters released this statement on their Facebook page. Good Life Management have been made aware of a photo from Good Life 2016 showing what appears to be the ghost of a young girl holding a teddy and hovering on the roof of a building overlooking the festival. We have checked with the photographer who took the photo, and the original image from the memory stick also shows the girl. We have since spoken to the Brisbane Showgrounds, who have revealed that the ground staff refused to go near one of the old warehouses after repeated sightings of a young girl. It's rumoured a little girl named Lucy died at the site in the early 1900s and has haunted it since. We will continue to investigate and bring you updates as more info comes to hand. More info did come in, and I will not read the whole thing, but they basically said that they were unable to find any information to back the Lucy story. They did debunk one theory that the ghost was the same ghost used in Grand Theft Auto, however, as they apparently had a graphics designer take a look and say the GTA ghost does not match with the photograph. They went on to say that they want to believe it's a ghost and will let others make up their mind. So it does seem that despite the Lucy story not having any evidence to support it, they sure are convinced it's a real ghost of some sort, and those who have viewed it are struggling to debunk it. What's your thoughts, a genuine ghost photograph or a clever marketing tool for the festival? Crash site ghost. This next photograph is a relatively new one. It was taken by truck driver Sol Vaquez in July 2016 in Powell County, Kentucky, and he posted it to his Facebook with the following message. I took this picture just a few minutes ago from the cab of my truck. It was an accident between Campton and Stanton on the service road just off the Mountain Parkway. Zoom in and pay attention to the shadow just off the top of the state trooper hat. All I say is I hope everyone involved is okay. Sadly, the motorcyclist who was involved in the crash was not okay. He was killed, prompting people to speculate that the image captured his soul leaving his body. Some say it's been tampered with, although there is no strong evidence to suggest this, and tampering with a photo of a crash site seems incredibly disrespectful. That's not to say someone wouldn't do it, however, but many believe this photo is a genuine and either shows smoke from the crash site, a trick of the mind, or the man's soul. What's your thoughts? So that's 5 believed ghosts caught in photographs. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you're enjoying all of the creepy content this month, because there is plenty more to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.